style.
Fuck you, man. You ruined the stock market, Donald Trump, and you ruined all the trade. And I love your fake gold watch, sir. Fuck off. Fuck off. And the economy sucks because of Donald Trump.
I'll blow fucking bullet holes in that piece of shit. You're fucking traitors of our country. You're traitors. Fuck you. Witnessing fascism taking over this country.
We're talking about having
You're in a cult, and the only reason you have this is because you're in a cult.
You support a garbage human being who doesn't believe in equal rights for all human beings.
You know what?
Stop. That's enough.
Okay, see, I can't say what I need to say.
You don't need to say anything.
Because you say you believe in God, but you can't believe in God if you believe in a guy like Trump. It's just,
Well,
it's just the way
did
it
you
is.
know?
How's your 401?
Did you know? Oh, okay.
What's the problem?
Oh, that picture right there.
Why? What's wrong with it?
He's an asshole.
Why?
Logical conservative, huh?
Mm-hmm. Is everything okay?
Just tired of your bullshit political shit.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. You know, I've been thinking a lot about how we got here. Been thinking a lot lately about how we got here. You know, liberalism used to sell itself as the philosophy of tolerance, free speech, and looking out for the little guy. It wrapped itself in the language of decency and common sense. But somewhere along the way, it just stopped being the political idea and turned into something else entirely. Something uglier. It became a cancer, slowly eating away at the common sense and basic decency that used to hold this country together. Day after day, they chip away. They tell you that boys can be girls and that borders are racist, that the nuclear family is oppressive, and that questioning any of it makes you the dangerous extremist. They've replaced actual compassion with rituals of ideological purity. They punish dissent, reward failure, and they act shocked when the rest of the country starts to notice the results. Collapsing cities, confused kids, and a ruling class that actually hates the people that it governs. What began as misguided idealism is hardened into something deliberate. A force that seems less interested in improving America than fundamentally breaking it. And nowhere in that transformation has it been more obvious than with the LGBT community. For years, they were told they had to lock arm with the progressive left, no questions asked. But a growing number of gay Americans looked around and said, wait a minute, this is not what we signed up for. We want to be left alone to live our lives. We didn't sign up for the sexualization of children. We didn't sign up for pride parades turning into explicit performances in front of children and families. We didn't ask for schools hiding gender transitions from parents for medical procedures, rushing kids toward irreversible decisions that they'll no doubt regret before they can even drive a car. The over-sexualization, the obsession with grooming the next generation, the total disregard for protecting innocence. It's become too much for many, even in the gay community. So they've started walking away. They're showing up in Republican circles, at conservative events, speaking out against this madness. Because at the end of the day, protecting children isn't a partisan issue. It's a basic human one. And when one side treats it like the afterthought, or worse, an opportunity for activism, decent people notice. They leave. At this point, it's hard to escape the conclusion that parts of the modern left aren't just failing to preserve this country. They seem actively interested in tearing it down. Tradition, biology, parental rights, national cohesion, all of it has to go according to them. Replaced, of course, by chaos dressed up as progress. But not everybody's going along with it. Joining us tonight is a man who knows this story from the inside. He's an openly gay conservative who left the Democratic Party behind and has spent his time since then speaking the truth in a world that's gone absolutely mad for applause. He's pushing back against the lunacy with clarity and courage. He's got a platform built on common sense, and I'm happy to have him on tonight. His name is Daniel Tobin, better known to many of you as Daniel Speaks Up. And tonight, it's his turn on the carpet. Daniel, welcome to the show. It's great to have you.
You man, you ruined the stop.
Let me get you up here. There we go. How are we doing tonight, Daniel?
Good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. You know, I was looking at your videos, and the one thing that I noticed that stood out above all is the common sense. Common sense is something that I've been preaching for the longest time that we just don't have anymore, and I appreciate the fact that you built your platform on that simple, fundamental basis.
Because you know what it is? I was told at 18, you know, for me, politics, I've always been interested in it, but I never really dove in. And when I understood that Hillary Clinton was going to be a threat to this world, not even just America, okay? Let's really just like keep it 100, okay?
You said her
for
name.
the world.
We gotta put the holy water. Ooh,
The
Lord.
Clintons,
it got cold in here. You said the name, and it got cold in here all of a sudden.
Like and I'll tell you something. I voted for Hillary in the first election, okay? It's the biggest regret I have.
About that.
I was 18, fresh 18.
Oh, never mind.
I know.
That'll do it.
And here I am. I did makeup every single day. I'm new to this. I ain't true to this. You know, I'm true to this, not new to this. There you go. I've been doing makeup since I'm 13. So it's kind of always is what it was. I was sold that the Democrat Party was what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? So when you say that, you know, liberals are a cancer, they really are in this society. There is no more common sense. Everybody's stuck on this, you know, victim mentality, and everybody's oppressed and everybody's depressed and everybody's on some kind of narcotic somewhere. Well, it's true when you have that boogeyman living in your head. They don't have any common sense, none whatsoever.
Well, it's like we've reached a point in society where the left has pushed so far that even very known moderate Democrats, you know, people like Bill Maher are now openly speaking out against the Democratic Party because they've reached a point where people with common sense can no longer stand with them, but it's forcing all of the adults in the room to now side with this absolute lunacy. And I appreciate Bill Maher for speaking out the way that he does. But, you know, your story is not unique at all. We find this so much in the conservative community, and I would love to know your opinion as to why you think, specifically, why you think the Republican Party is so open, specifically to the LGBT community and gay people, specifically to coming over.
What I found from personal experience is the Republican Party doesn't have shackles on anybody. Do you understand? You can think for yourself. You can be independent. We want smaller government. That's all we want at the end of the day. Lower taxes, a closed border. It's very simple. These people nowadays, if you don't have 75 genders to follow your name, I mean, you're the crazy one. Can you imagine? I mean, you know, from what I found from even my friend, like, you know, listen, I have Republican friends. I have libertarian friends. I have liberal friends. I have all these different people with different personalities, but what we all can come to the mutual understanding is the way that the Democrat Party is going today is going to be the detriment of this country. It really will be.
I don't see how it can be anything but, honestly. How do you have anything normal?
100. And for me, I always say, and you know, we're in Pride Month or whatever you want to call it. And
this is Men's Health Month.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And, you know, when you have, I'm not a fan of participation trophies. So I don't need a month. I don't need a flag. I don't need anything else. I always say, can we just get back to what our parents and what our parents' parents believed in, which America is the most prosperous country because it is. Can you imagine? Like the American flag. We have one flag. Can we just continue to fly it? We don't need flags with, you know, the brown and the rainbow, and now there's a circle and over here. That's called indoctrination on our kids.
I certainly got tired of seeing the Ukrainian flags flying around. I can tell you.
Oh, do you remember that?
Yes, I do, actually.
Forget it.
I had one down the street from me, and I almost had a crime trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But no, really, your story is absolutely not unique, and I feel like we've reached a point to where the Democratic Party, more specific, well, let's not say the Democratic Party. Let's just say the liberals. Because I feel like it's insulting to the Democratic Party to group them all together. But these liberals, it seems like they put so much time and effort into their misinformation, their fear-mongering, and their hate campaigns. Why can't they put that kind of time and effort into really protecting the people around them, more specifically protecting the children around them?
Yeah, because it's too productive for them. They don't know how to live in a society that's productive. They have to be a victim. They have to be oppressed. Why is it fun to be oppressed? I mean, we just, you know, Juneteenth was a couple of days ago, right? What did we see videos of? People literally dressing up as slaves. Why are we doing this? It makes no sense. And for me, you know, when people say, well, you know, and I get these comments all the time. I all the time do I get these comments, you know, you're fat, gay, Republican, Trump hates you, this and that, and over here and pick a struggle. Right. Well, aren't you the party of inclusion? Aren't you the party of diversity? What happened?
That's what they put on the memo, at least.
That's what they put on the memo. And when I fire back at, well, these are the, I mean, we've seen it. You know, I recently did some street interviews in Philly for Pride, and we're going to start some more street interviews. But talking to these people, I felt like I was talking to a wall, and I you know what I did? I really gave them the benefit of the doubt. I really did, because, you know, I followed many conservative influencers for a long time. I mean, I'm talking the OGs. I'm talking Ariel, Savannah Craven. I'm talking Caitlyn Bennett. I'm talking all of them, right? You know, and everybody. And I really thought that maybe, just maybe, they're kind of editing their videos a little bit. Maybe they didn't. They're not. Okay.
Yes. It's crazy that everybody reaches this point. I had that point too. You reach this point to where you really dive in, and then you wake up one day and you're like, my God, this isn't an act. They are serious. That's when it becomes scary to me.
But exactly, that's the thing. It's scary because these people are legitimate. They're in society. They're voting. They're going places. They're going to school. They're going to work. What do these people do? They live in these bubbles over here, and I'm in Philly, which is very deep blue. So it's very blue. And the amount of just misinformation, not even thinking Trump derangement syndrome is a true thing. I really thought it was like tongue in cheek and Trump has been, no, it's a true, it's really
a thing. It is
it's a thing.
It is a weird thing too. Heather in the comments says she loves your accent. I was about to say something about that too. I was about to say, where is it's either Wisconsin that I'm hearing.
It's not the Wisconsin. Let me tell you what it is. So I'm from Philly, born and raised, right? But when I was like 15, yep, Jersey. I'm around Jersey. It's Jersey, Staten Island, you can call it. But I watched too much Mob Wives when I was younger, and I just picked up all their accents. It was great.
You've definitely got some of that Jersey in it. I can definitely hear it.
I learned from the best. Jersey-licious.
We all just want to go back to the 80s. I absolutely agree with you, honey.
I'm telling you.
I miss the 80s and the 90s so much. Oh my God, I wish we could go back there.
Listen, I was only born in 97, but I swear I'm an old soul.
Yeah, you get it. being around liberals will be enough. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you're hanging out with us on any one of the social media platforms, please do take a second, tap your fingers on the screen, do the little share button, tap whatever you got to do. Share this with your friends and get this information out there. We really want to make sure that everybody knows that they do have a place to be. Of course, like I said, this is Mental Health Month, and we want to make sure that all the men out there know that, hey, you know, it's a difficult world that you're living in right now. we understand that. So if anybody needs anything and you need a place to be, we got those places for you. So if you're hearing this message out there right now and you got something going on and you need an ear, trust me, we got plenty of them in this community that we're building right here. Daniel, I want to go to one of your videos here that you have on your account really quick, and we're going to watch this, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about it. Daniel actually takes his time and goes out in the streets like a brave individual and interviews these liberals. Good Lord, I would go to jail. Let's take a look.
I'm going to tell you what a woman is.
I would love for you to tell me what a woman is. You're a woman. What are you?
I am a woman.
Which is?
This is what a woman is.
Which is?
It could be a different thing for every woman that sees themselves as a woman.
But what is that? You can't answer with a definition. What is a woman?
A woman is someone who expresses femininity.
I express femininity. I'm a man. What is a woman?
It's if you identify as that expression.
I don't care about your feelings,
are.
and I don't care what you identify as. What is a woman?
I already explained that.
And I'm propagandized, I know. So I just got back from Pride with my friend Frank over at Surge Philly. And let me tell you something. These Democrats are radical. I cannot wait for you to see all the content that we have. We interviewed furries. We interviewed transgender, mothers, crazy, glitter beards. It was really something. It was really something. These people are so manipulated by the media, and they can never give us an answer. They can never give us an answer. And if they give us an answer, I know exactly what they're citing. A headline from CNN. I'm not kidding. I said it once and I'll say it again. I don't need a parade to celebrate my sexuality. I like men, and that just is what it is. And after seeing these people today,
you know, it's the craziest thing because, like, I'm telling you, like, it's always the same answer, and they make you it makes you mad. It makes you insane because you're like, bitch, I'm here. Let's have a conversation. You want to have a conversation? I'm right here. Can we talk some sense? And that's about as far as it gets.
I'm telling you, and let me tell you something, by the way. Those clips were about almost at the end of the day. I was fat, I was hot, and she was getting on my nerves. Okay? Let me tell you something.
The fuse goes down at the end of the day once we start chafing.
I'm telling you something. It was an experience because I was like, all right, I think we got enough time. And then this one comes up. There's another video that I'm sure we have that, she had a pink shirt on. She came up first. That was her girlfriend. I wasn't even going to talk to them, actually. There was someone walking by with like a furry costume on. We went up to them and they didn't want anything to do with us, of course. But, I didn't even, she came up to us and I was like, all right, here we go. And like this one was so adamant about not answering our questions and not wanting to be associated with Trump supporters, yet still said that she was about diversity and she has a girlfriend and all of this. And I'm like, you couldn't even answer the basic question. And feel like
the thing about it is they come up to you and it's like they're playing pretend. They come up to you with the intention of having a discourse. And then as soon as the words come out, it's hate. Ugh, hate. It's
exactly.
Hate. Let's check
100%.
out. Let's go to the video and check it out.
Yeah. Queer. I'm a flaming homo. Tell me where I can't be a flaming homo in America.
You can't.
So many states.
Thank you.
Here's the point. I don't want to associate with you personally, and you got to be okay with that.
But you know what's okay in America? Exactly what you just said.
That's great. But like, what's this all about? Why you got to make it bigger than what it is?
Because
That's
of
fucking weird, though. That's
Why can't you be friends with a Trump supporter?
Are you serious? Why can't I be? Why can't a fucking lamb be friends with a wolf?
Why?
Cause you're food. You're food.
For who?
For Trump. Enjoy.
I'm really oppressed and I really need a safe space. Are you my safe space?
I am a safe space.
Okay, for a Trump supporter?
No, not for a Trump supporter. Because that doesn't make any sense.
So there is only two genders. We're agreeing.
That's what they say.
No.
Oh, no.
No, because you know what? I don't agree with two genders anyway in life.
What do you agree with?
I agree that people should identify however the fuck they want to identify.
And I'm the propagandized one. I know. I do. Listen, I respect you as the day is long. You know who else respects you? President Trump. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What is the president that came into office to decriminalize homosexuality? Can you have that answer? I know. Take a sip. Take a sec. Ready?
So-
Say it with me. Ready?
What?
President Trump. Do you know the first president that came into office approving a gay marriage? Ready? Say it with me. President Trump. Do you know the first president that had 2 really high up cabinet members in his cabinet? Ready? Say it with me. President Trump.
Who were gay?
Who are gay.
If that's what you feel like.
I don't. No, so you're propagandized. I'm just spitting facts at you.
Yeah.
Scott Bessent and Richard Grenell, really great people, okay? They're in the Trump administration. One of them was in the Trump administration. This is happening on a real basis, but you came up and you said that President Trump just hates everybody.
Listen, if you feed into Trump and Trump propaganda,
I feed into a lot, but I don't feed into propaganda.
you are feeding into propaganda.
Like what?
More than you understand.
Like, explain it to me.
Okay. So, do you feel like you can't wear makeup as a man?
Oh.
In
so we're trying
Ohio.
to do, oh, in Ohio. So what about Philly? I can do that?
Yeah. You're
Wow, like I just first of all, let me just say I think that you're beautiful, and I think that you have an amazing personality, and I think that every man out here should take a second and just swallow the fact that you're out here doing what most of them don't have the courage and fortitude to do, and that is just have a basic discourse with people that don't agree with you. Can we give it up for how difficult that is? I mean, it really is. And a lot of our audience is agreeing.
Let me also just say, okay, Frank from Surge Philly, that's who was in the video with me. Let me tell you, he's such a saint because he tried to keep his like investigator hat on, and I'm just sitting. I'm not taking the bullshit at all. I'm not putting up with your bullshit today, tomorrow, next week. I'm not doing it. All right. Whether you're drinking, whatever you could answer to me what a woman is. You can also tell me how many genders there are. I don't care how many drinks in I am. I could tell you that. Okay. Number 2, when I said that President Trump decriminalized homosexuality, it was a worldwide campaign that he actually sponsored. So it wasn't something. It was already decriminalized in 2003 in America. I get that. I understand. But
Correct.
These people had a lot of questions about that. And let me tell you, it's so crazy because I physically saw her get tense the more facts that we, spewed at her,
They
right?
don't like facts.
They hate it, right? Because I am now, okay, that person that you're saying is oppressed, right? I'm the gay man in America wearing the
And now
makeup.
you're speaking for me.
and you're speaking for me.
Isn't that
I mean,
fun?
listen, I woke up today, I put on a face of makeup, went to I did all the things, right? I don't need more rights than a straight man does, okay? I just don't need it. These people can't grasp that because, again, I think we're dealing with people who, again, want to be victims, want to, also, one of the videos that'll come out soon, I said this, and I said Americans are really lazy sometimes. And what we want, not us, because, we're workers, we're patriots, we're going out, but let's just say the left, okay? The left is very dangerous when it comes to things like this because it's so much from a place that is like that generational trauma. I have trauma. I have,
Everybody's got trauma, but they're not willing to accept yours.
Exactly. So I could go on the street and, I could be called, the infamous F word. I don't know what I can say on here, and if I was, so what? There's no laws, and I am all the time. I mean, I put it out there for, it's just going to be what it is.
Most gay men do, and it's all gravy.
Yeah, and it's all good.
Be who
But
you
I'm
are,
not.
honey.
But I'm not going to tell you that committing child abuse on your child, transitioning them when they're 16. No, it doesn't sit well with me. No, you walking around thinking that you're literally a fox with a tail and you're a furry over here.
Correct.
No, that doesn't sit well with me. No, the 7 million genders that you think that there is, that doesn't sit well with me, right? So we came a long way as gay people. And, listen, Obama may have legalized gay marriage, but this is going to be a hard pill to swallow, and you can like it or not. Gay people don't aspire to get married. Okay? Deep down, these gay people out here, none of them are married. Okay? And if they're married, it's for other reasons, but it's also an open marriage. Okay? So I don't want to hear, because it's the first comment I always get, well, Obama legalized marriage. He was on the campaign trail saying that marriage was between a man and a woman. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, politics be politic, and it's always going to be the same way.
That's right. And you know what? It's almost hard for them to believe that President Trump has had this kind of stance on, the gays and, because Republican blacks and everybody else that are oppressed in America, because it's been so long since you had somebody say, pardon the expression, but fuck your feelings. That's it. Yeah. You haven't had that you had Biden, who was shaking invisible people's hands. You had the divider in chief in Obama. Okay, I was very young, so I couldn't even vote for him, but I understand that him coming into office, he divided America a lot. So when you have somebody like Trump saying, I don't care what you're doing, I don't care what you got going on. Yeah. The individual freedoms that I always stood for and the individual freedoms that I'm always going to stand for, I'm going to make America great again, whether you like it or you don't. And if you're along for the ride, you're cool. You're all going to get tax breaks. You're all going to get jobs. You're all going to get a wage increase. And that's for gays, like anybody who's oppressed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And they hear that and it doesn't even, it's like in ear one and out the other.
It's in one ear, not the other. And I'll tell you, having 94% of bad press, okay, has something to do with that. Because, again, what are we talking about today? We're talking about a pool that has algae, and we're not talking about any of the tax cuts that have came from the one big beautiful bill anymore. We're not talking about the gas prices that are going down from having the MOU in Iran. We're not talking about, JD Vance's book. We're not talking about simple stuff. We're talking about algae in a pool. Do you know what I'm saying?
It should be proof to anybody with more than 3 or 4 brain cells that the media is feeding you this information for a reason. There's a billion stories out there they could be covering, and I don't want to see stories about a dead duck in a pool. I don't care.
Literally. And
I don't give a shit about the duck.
At all. And CNN has covered more about algae in a friggin' pool over here than they did about the Somalian fraud that actually came into America. So all these people, listen, I know that the right is a little bit divided, but all these people that are talking about America first, listen, if we really are truly going to put America first, that's something that we got to handle. JD Vance is actively handling the fraud in America.
Handle it. We have to actually handle it.
Exactly. What have we seen as a trend, okay, in the last almost year, okay? Charlie Kirk martyred because he actually had effective ideas.
Correct.
Okay?
And no doubt was going to be the next president.
1,000%. And we have President Trump. I know that some people will disagree with some of the things that he may do, but you can't at the end of the day ever tell me that he doesn't love this country and wants to put it first.
Correct.
You understand? So when we're talking about these levels of things, and I tell these things to these leftists, it's I guess it's a trend now to be a democratic socialist, I guess. We see it out of New York, right? They have about 90 to 100,000 paying members paying for socialism. I know.
Yeah, it gets deep.
I didn't even realize that people pay dues to be a part of no democratic. So I didn't even realize this because I'm like,
oh yeah.
Well, that kind of goes against. Yeah, that kind of goes against everything.
Tell me when the last group of democratic socialists existed in this world? Anybody know? Sometime around 1930s and 40s, maybe Germany, Austria. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But it's like, it's just so crazy to me that we're having this conversation. We're having the media really is having all of these conversations, which results in people saying that there's a million genders, and then we're focusing on very less than smart things, and we're not putting America first at the end of the day. Do you understand? The media. I'm talking about the free press in America. Do you understand?
Well, it seems like there's a lot of misinformation going on. You know, and I had an audience member that had a question that I want to bring. Fred actually had a really good question that I wanted to bring to you. He wanted to know how you felt as a member of the gay community about the fact that the MLB, specifically the National Baseball League and sports, are actively making these sports people push pride. And now a lot of them are putting Bible verses on their hats. No doubt they're going to get fined. Now, my retort to that is that obviously you signed a contract and that you sell your soul to these people. They can push whatever agenda they want. But do you think that that's crossing a line where we're now pushing social agendas in sports?
1000%. It's almost going back to what I think about celebrities too. I think, listen, I don't watch sports, okay? But I can tell you that these people, yeah, they're like entertainers, right? At the end of the day, they're like famous entertainers, right?
Well, this is Rome.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So like these people are getting people to put pride flags on their hats to make it seem like they're all inclusive, yet it wasn't forced on them. But if you don't wear your pride hat, does that mean you're a bigot? You see how it can get a little deep there?
Oh,
right?
It's definitely a political game for sure.
1000%. Why do I need to know, okay, that the MLB accepts me for being gay? I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't wake up thinking about the MLB. I don't think about Billie Eilish. I don't think about these people who want to, have inclusivity. I don't care. Okay. The thing about it is, though, what I find interesting is, especially in the MLB, respectfully, that's a straight man sport. It kind of is, right? Overwhelmingly.
So why are we bringing pride everywhere into it?
Because we're pushing, and they're trying to push an agenda that everybody should be everywhere at every time. And guess what? If that becomes true, then you kind of lose checks and balances a little bit, because it goes back to DEI, which I agree with Charlie Kirk always said it didn't earn it. And these people are pushing this agenda, which makes kind of a target on gay people's back. It really does at the end of the day, because listen, I always say, I don't need to be accepted. I just need to be respected. That's all. And guess what?
Well, there's something going around that's you touched on something that I really wanted to talk about, because there is something going around that I think is extremely dangerous, especially for the gay community, and that is the fact that the left is pushing this agenda that things like Islam can be compatible in any way with the gay community. And now we are actually having liberals and leftists who are pushing this agenda to these young, impressionable people all over the world, that they may now be gay and be Muslim in the same sentence. And that is dangerous. That is dangerous.
Not
now
only
in a time
dangerous,
where we have Muslim and Shia run cities.
Yeah. It's not only dangerous, but Mandami over here in New York, okay, he's having these like city hall, like they're voguing and the transgender over here and over there. I'm sorry, but that's a political theater, okay? That is a theater for these gays to feel like they have some skin in the game, and these transgenders over here. Listen, not only are gay and Muslim not even just supposed to be in the same sentence, Islam is not compatible with the West. We know this, right? And we see what's happening in the UK. We've seen exactly what happened to Henry Novak. And it's crazy to me that we're trying to push inclusivity. And I always think that inclusivity done right is perfect, right? It's perfect.
Inclusivity done with respect would work.
1000%. Why are you going to tell me that the same people that want to stone me and throw me off a building are going to all magically accept me and be compatible with the West? You cannot tell me that, because again, it's indoctrination. Because when I say something, or when president or, higher officials say something, and they say something to the effect of, yes, we need to have pretty much a Muslim ban. Well, now you're looked at like a bigot. You're not peeling back the layers. You're not telling me, you're not understanding the why behind it, And the thing about America that's so beautiful about us is that we can have different cultures, different aspects, different walks of life all come together. But what's happening right now is when you try to sell me that I can be in the same denomination as a Muslim and go into a mosque and not get side-eyed, you're crazy.
And that's exactly what's happening, Daniel. We're having cities right now, especially like in places like in Michigan or whatever, because that's the way it starts. You have these liberal left run cities, and then they introduce a Muslim population. And then let's just say for the first 2 or 3 or 4 generations, that population doesn't do anything but grow. And then that gay community inside of that same community becomes outnumbered by the Muslim population. And here's what ends up happening. I'm going to show you a video right here, and I want to know what your response is.
The pride flag. So now you have an all-Muslim city council and mayor, and now they've taken down all the pride flags. One of the best examples, I think, of suicidal empathy happening in real time is a town in Michigan called Hamtramck, and I believe it was the first town in the United States that authorized the Muslim call to prayer in the morning. The liberal people in that town wanted to protect Muslim rights. There was a whole bunch of people from Bangladesh coming into the town, and these were the people who were very much pro-LGBTQ++. So they welcomed tons of refugees into their small town, who eventually became the majority. And then what happened is you got the first mayor from this country. City council became all Muslim. It's an example of you have to be careful of the unintended consequences of good intentions. Because what happened in that town this year is that they banned the pride flag. So now you have an all-Muslim city council and mayor, and now they've taken down all the pride flags. And the liberal women who were behind this whole movement are now like, what's going on? And now they're being completely rebuked. And it reminds me of communism, where the agitators and the revolutionaries are just useful idiots for the people who want to take power. And whether it's communists, people from a different country or worldview, take a look at that town. Tell me what you think about it, because I think that is a little microcosm of what could happen on a grand scale in Europe and North America if we're not sure about making sure people share our values before we put them in a position to take over. Here's a story of how a liberal town that was very pro-LGBTQ went to a town that now bans Pride Month and pride flags.
And Daniel, we're seeing that all over the United States right now. And the crazy part about it is, I tell people all the time, I'm a huge common sense person. I have a very low tolerance for ignorance. And I tell people all the time, this is very easy. It's right here. It's in black and white. Look, guys, it's a real short book. It's a real short guide. And everything that you're seeing in our society right now is in this book. You are witnessing communism in action against an ignorant population willing to peddle it against its own people. And at what time, Daniel, are we going to start having gays murdered in the streets in these Muslim-run towns? That what happens? It's going to get covered up by the Muslim council, the Muslim mayor, the Muslim police, and the Sharia law. And then
let me explain something to you. I respect, right, that we have freedom of religion. I love our Constitution. It's great. But let me tell you what 2026 Islam wants to do to the West. They're going to infiltrate. They're going to dominate. They're going to populate. They're going to start a caliphate. And they told you all of this. I don't know why we're ignoring these facts.
They told us.
They're telling us. Now, not for nothing. I don't fear much. I don't fear anybody. There's not one individual that can put fear in me. What put fear in me is the Communist Manifesto. Let me tell you something about that, okay?
Everybody needs to read this. It's like $4 on Amazon.
100%.
If you want to know what the Democrats are really doing and you want to weed through all of the propaganda, read this book. It will explain to you exactly how it works. And it's a very short book, guys. It's like 20 pages.
It's very... there was one night where I went down a rabbit hole about Karl Marx and Frederick Engels, and what is crazy to me is that they want to relive, and liberals, okay, we're talking about liberals, they want to relive history in a certain sense. Correct. In a certain sense, they want to bring back the Communist Manifesto that was in 1800s, okay? Correct. But let's not go about Trump taking down the slavery, because why the hell are we still talking about it? But guess what? Let me tell you about something about that, by the way. When we did one of our videos in in Philly. The one thing that I always say is pride, and if you're gonna do it, be an adult. I don't need kids there and the whole thing, right? Number one. Number two, I always said that my sexuality is not political. Well, what do we see when we first get there? A communism table, and right beside it, a socialism table. They were actively recruiting people to be in the Communist Party, in the Socialist Party.
Communist Party.
Can you imagine? In America.
Yes, I can.
Well, I know.
Yes, that's what's sad. I can't imagine that.
When we were asking them questions, the first thing, because, when you look at me, you think, I get it. Listen, everybody listen and everybody knows. When you look at me, you think liberal, right? They thought I was on their side for a sec because they thought I was going to be able to be brainwashed by them. Well, when we walked up to the table and asked them to tell us about their movement, they saw my shirt. It was red, white, and blue. They wanted nothing to do with us. Why? Because communism, socialism does not work in America. And I'm not just saying that because I don't want any, equality, because that's what they'll always say. It's about equality and all the things. It creates the most inequality you could ever imagine. Okay.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, when we're tying it back to the caliphate that these Muslims want to come into America and pretty much dominate. Listen, what do they tell you? They tell you they want Islam in every single household. They tell you this. Why are we not listening to them? Yet you can recite back to me a CNN headline about Trump and, how he took a shit this morning, but you can't tell me about the Muslims that are coming in, infiltrating the West, and exactly what they want to do after they literally told you what they want to do.
Correct. I've told people, exactly what you're saying. It's completely correct. It is. It's completely sick. And I've told people plain as day. And that's why I'm doing this now, because I want there to be an internet breadcrumb, because I've been saying it for years. I said, guys, in another 4 or 5 generations, when you have a Muslim population that is now murdering Christians and gays in the street, and they will be.
Yep.
They will be. You mark my words.
Yep.
At what point are Americans willing to stand up and fight for what little bit of a country we have left? Because the fact is, the population that we have amongst us right now don't give a damn. The Democrats have repopulated this country. You're no longer dealing with the same Americans you grew up with, because the smart ones have already left. You are dealing with a population that does not care about you. They want that government handout, and you best believe when the lights turn off and they can't get their food, they will eat each other.
1,000%. And I said that. I say this all the time. I have young nieces, young nephews, okay? It's our next generation. Do you understand? These kids are being indoctrinated to kind of think that everybody has good intentions, or people on the left have good intentions, but yet when you're a Republican, you just want independent freedoms, that we're the bad guys. Well, you're actively looking at Mondami in New York, okay, when there has been many of people who voted for him. We see the videos all the time. They regret their vote because it's becoming, New York is becoming a third world country.
Instant regret day one.
Yeah. 1,000%.
I know, because I made videos laughing at them about it. I was like, how are them free groceries?
Yeah. How's the free bus rides? When I say things like there's 42 million people on SNAP benefits, when I say that we should really look into who exactly is on SNAP, and thank you, Jesus, that President Trump is going after it, okay? The amount of illegal immigrants that are on our benefits in America, I could only imagine how many Muslims. I'm not even going to put a number out there because I could only imagine, because we know that they're infiltrating the West. When we say that they want government handouts, we actually mean it. And we're not just telling you a farcity. Like, we actually mean it. And, having these conversations about socialism and this, and AOC's over here and Bernie Sanders over there, and they can't tell you left from right just because they just want you to feel included, okay? Socialism is, let me tell you, socialism is the most just exclusive thing that could ever happen to America.
Correct.
Why? Because exactly what you just said. If the government can feed your kids, they can starve your kids. Okay, and that's a true statement. And all of the handouts, and this is why I say, like, not all of America, not majority. We know this, right? We're workers, we're entrepreneurs, we're very, innovative. But there is this growing sense of making the government your daddy. And I'm not about that life.
And it's becoming a trend, and it is dangerous.
Yeah.
It is dangerous, because what's going to happen is you're going to get, it's so easy to see if you just zoom out a little bit. It's not hard. They're gonna replace the population of the country with people who want government handouts, and they're gonna get it until they don't want to give it to you anymore. And guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna starve you out. They're gonna kill you all, and the only people that are gonna be left are the ones that want the communism anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I keep telling people there are only two options for this country. It is either legal or non-legal. That is it. It's either you want to do it legally, which is you want to hold a convention of the states and rewrite the Constitution, because that's it. That's the only option you got. Or B, you stand up for your country and you have a fucking revolution. Because I'll be damned if this shit's coming down here. But that's the problem. I live in the South. It's different down here.
Yeah.
It's different down here. We got guns down here. We got different things down here. I'm worried for people like my co-host Danny, who lives in Aurora, Illinois, who has to fight Pritzker every day. I worry about my friends in California who are fighting Newsom every day. We are being outnumbered by people who want us dead. They do not care about us, and they are willing to do whatever it takes as long as it fills their pockets before they can leave. And that's where we're at. And it's people
so sad.
It's people like you that are keeping that alive on the street.
Because for me, like, my grandfather served in the military, like, the whole thing, right? And I find that the American experiment is, like, the greatest thing that ever happened, because our founding fathers literally were, by the way, this is a big misconception that I always tell people. They were not these old hags with white hair and the things. They were young. They were like 35 years old over here. So, they were young
men. I mean, watch The Patriot with Mel Gibson. That's a very accurate movie. These were just people. They were people that understood that the decisions that they make were going to make them hung as traitors if they were caught. George Washington included. This man crossed the Delaware River with a bunch of his friends on Christmas Day to cut throats. Like, what the?
Yes.
This was the first president. That's facts.
And it's like we have all of... I feel that the Constitution and America is worth saving, and I don't want to see it change. I know that some people will have debates and, things that socialism would be better for this and over here. That's coming from people who truly don't want to work. And I find that very, very disheartening, because, I mean, look at what just happened on June 6th. We went through D-Day, right? These generations, and my generation included, we have not been through shit.
Oh my God. Can you
like,
imagine?
These people are, and to bring something else up, I mean, look at what they've been calling us for years. They've been calling us, Nazis for years. Now they legitimately have a Nazi on the left. What are we doing? But it's because your feelings get in the way, and the DEI side of your brain says, orange man bid, anybody who supports him, and the new thing is the pedo supporter and the Epstein and the this over here, and nobody has no clue what they're talking about. Do you see what I'm saying? Because again, it's misinformation. So we're not talking about all of the American preservation that President Trump is doing. We're talking about everything over here that, could potentially be, a risk. We're not talking about everything that he has done. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because, prove me wrong, but I don't really think we had a more American first president than President Trump. I'm sorry. I don't think in many, many years we have had an American first president. Certainly not in 2020.
And I certainly think that Trump understood the game that he was in when he got in, and understood there's no man that could do this in one term. And I think that he certainly set up the Republican Party for a red wave that, if God help us, we could just have a fair election. We could push through a red wave that's going to last for 25 years.
1,000%, and not for nothing. This is why I'm a big supporter of the Save America Act. It is not... Okay, this is not a hard concept to, conceptualize, okay?
It's not hard.
Voter
Fair
ID,
elections, in or out.
one thing. Yeah, that's it. Voter ID is so simple. You would think that every state would have it, okay? I didn't have to show my ID in Philly. I'm in Philly. Go figure. Listen, when Gavin Newsom comes out and tells you that black people are too stupid to get an ID, listen to him. See, there's a trend here, right? We're not listening to the Muslims. We're not listening.
They tell you
We're not
right to your
listening.
face.
They tell you right to your face, and you don't have to uncover a thing. When Bernie Sanders says, hey, or not Bernie Sanders, well, him too, he's a jerk off too, but when Chuck Schumer comes out and says, this is Jim Crow 2.0, can you imagine?
Yeah. Yeah.
For a friggin' ID to vote for our elected officials, this is Jim Crow 2.0. This is where I'm saying the misinformation from the left is astounding because, again, back to our previous point, common sense tells me that, yeah, you might have to have, and by the way, you might have to have voter ID, but also married women are not stupid. Okay, they can get their birth certificate. They can get everything. Okay, these people are not
I don't even
stupid.
know what my social security card is. Mine's a
Yeah.
I got mine on me.
The left will pander to. Did you see the recent interview that Chuck Schumer did? I don't know if it was CNN or CBS. When he was talking about, well, there'll be 25 million people off the voter rolls. Yeah, Chuck, I know. Yeah,
we know. We don't want them.
Let's do that, right? Because now, again, if we're going to talk about illegal versus legal, yes, Trump came in and closed the border, okay? ICE did its job. You just didn't like it. ICE was doing their job when Obama was in office, but I can only imagine what fraud was doing. But you liked it then, yet now it's a problem because it's under Trump. Well, here's the thing. Illegal immigrants do have a stake in America. They do take more than they give. Do you understand? I've seen it day for day, in my everyday life that these people do not have social security numbers. They're opening up credit cards, but they don't have social security numbers. Do you understand?
And what do you think that's going to do to the debt? I mean, I tell people all the time, like, we're in a balloon that is about to pop, and it's going to be because of these people.
So when Elizabeth Warren comes out and says, oh, well, Donald Trump, it's another $1 trillion. Okay, well, how about we figure out the actual problem? You see, they don't like to figure out the actual problem. They like to put a Band-Aid over it. The left really likes a bow. They wrap it in a bow like a little present over here, and then they blame it on Trump and then just hand him a shithole, and then here he has to figure it out. Well, how about the next president after Trump? How about the next president after that? They're going to have to figure out stuff too, and if you guys keep down this track, okay, it's going to be very bad. And if we're sitting here and we're still having the conversation of something as so simple as, men and women's sports, if we're still having this conversation and we're not talking about the billions of fraud, okay, that's where America goes wrong. That's where we go wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. Daniel, we're kind of running towards the end here. So I want to kind of take a second. I want to thank you for coming on, though. I know that there was something that we talked about, that there was a cause or something that you were supporting. Can you tell everybody about that?
That's right. So on June 30th, I'm launching Gexit, which Siggy Flicker, let me give you a little backstory. Siggy Flicker, she's amazing. She was on The Real Housewives. She's a big Trump supporter, Republican. She started something called Jexit, Jews leaving the Democrat Party. Well, Candace Owens, she has Blexit, blacks leaving the Democrat Party. Well, I'm bringing in gays leaving the Democrat Party, and we're calling it Gexit. And I believe that these people are brainwashed because I was that person. I am talking from experience. I am talking from being talked down to, like I have no two brain cells to put together. And this Gexit movement is going to be the next greatest thing that will happen to America because, I think it's time. It's time. Yeah. Do you understand? It's time to stop playing identity politics. It's time to really get to the nitty gritty of the problem because these people that are saying that there's a problem, these Marjorie Taylor Greens and these other people that are in this, America First Party, I love them. I get it. Talk about the problem. And one of the problems is you guys are identifying and playing this identity politics. Gexit, we're not playing that game. We're going to do everything you can think of. Events. We're partnering with United Gen. Tyler at United Gen. She's amazing, by the way. And you guys will know more on the 30th. I'm partnering with a bunch of gay conservative influencers because, yes, we are here and we ain't going to be silent no more.
Well, I got to tell you, like, we absolutely want to be involved, because the one thing that patriots need to do is look out for other patriots, and what you are doing is exactly what I think all of the adults in the room need to be doing. And I think it's important that people need to understand. We are in an environment that is completely inversed in the environment that we grew up in. We cannot rely on government tip, handout, or otherwise. We have to commune, we have to form, and we have to unite from the ground up. And so doing what we're doing here is exactly what you need to be doing. And it's up to us individually to make sure that we're helping in any way, shape, and form. So we absolutely want to be involved with that, and we want to be keep everybody in touch, and we want to unify, and we want to network, and we want to build these communities. And so we absolutely wish you the best of luck, and we're certainly going to be praying for you in that regard. But I want to thank you so much for coming on and spending your time with us this evening. I know we're all, everybody's got their lives, but I think it's important what you're doing, and I think that having the integrity and the fortitude to get out and speak to people about anything is something that most of us don't have. And so everybody needs to show you thanks, praise, appreciation, and love for that. But on top of that, being an openly gay conservative man and being at the absolute forefront of liberalism every single day is putting you in a spot to where you, much like every one of us, exactly like Charlie Kirk, are out there speaking our minds and putting your life on the line to a society of assassination culture. So by all means, please be careful, and we're going to be wishing you the best of luck. We want to have you come on again in the future, and of course we want to know your progress, so make sure that you're staying up to date, and we're going to make sure that all of our followers have all of your information. But tonight, from our family to yours, we appreciate you coming on, Daniel.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. You have a good night, and we will be in touch with you on the next go-round, okay? You guys make sure that you're coming on to the our page. We're going to put all of Daniel's information up so that everybody can follow. And, of course, he's going to stay in contact with us to make sure that we stay up to date with everything else. Hey, by the way, have you guys actually seen what it's like to argue with a liberal?
Bacon wasn't in Footloose.
What? Of course he was.
No, he wasn't. You lose.
Of course he was. He was the star.
Nope, you're wrong. Look it up.
I don't have to look it up. It's common knowledge. He was on the cover of People magazine when the movie. Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was a star of Footloose. It was a huge movie. He was the lead.
I swear to God, I've had that conversation at least. I have it like 10 times a day. I'm not gonna lie. I have to tell you, I really appreciate a person like Daniel, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because in a society where every single person is out to get you, every single person has an agenda, my God, at the amount of stones being thrown from glass houses in this society, it is unfathomable. But all we can really do as God's children is get up, put our hats on, and we walk out amongst these absolute demons every single day. And that's what he does. And he's got my respect, and he should have your respect. The one thing that I learned a while ago is that we're not going to get anywhere unless we come together and start building communities ourselves without depending on anybody else to do it. And that's exactly what we're doing right here on this channel. We are building communities of people. We've already had several communities that we've built already, and I'm super excited about everybody that's been involved. We started a while ago. We built the first conservative influencers group, which is doing great. We brought people together. Nobody else is doing that. Nobody wants to be involved with these groups because everybody knows at the end of the day that people are fake and they're phony and they look out for just themselves. And it's a pain in the ass to deal with those kinds of people. It's horrible. But nonetheless, we tried to bring people together. And when we got done with that, we moved on to another thing, and we decided to give women a safe space. And we made the Conservative Women's Group. And that we gained over 1,000 followers, and I think 7 days' time. We did a giveaway for these women. We're providing these women with their own platform. We're providing them with their own podcast. They're about to have podcast auditions. We are providing a platform and a space for people to have a voice. And I'll do it until I can't do it anymore. Because the fact is, you are being lied to every single day when you wake up. From the moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to sleep. And if you are the kind of person that can simply just watch this information, look out at the world and see what's going on around you and just say, okay, that's reality, then you are lost. And I don't want you next to me. You're just collateral damage. You might as well be a body shield because you know nothing. You can't provide anything. You have no talent. You have no skills. What are you? You're a consumer. That's it. You provide nothing to the people around you, and you never will. This is the society that we are in right now. And it's up to us to change it every single day by coming together and doing these things, by waking up every single day, by trying to make ourselves better, no matter what, even if it's all for nothing. It still does something to you. That's why the next thing that we're doing on this channel is we're building a group for veterans. We're calling it the Conservative Veterans Group. I've got a Facebook page for it. I've got a private group for it. I would like it to be run by veterans. We're providing a platform for people to come together in all forms, but without every single one of you actually giving a damn and taking the time to share this information with your friends instead of just being complacent every day, none of this works. And damn it, they killed Charlie Kirk. And that's bullshit. And it changed everything. It's worth saving. It is worth fighting for. It is absolutely worth dying for. But you guys have to understand, that is the environment that you are in, whether or not you want to be there. These people want to kill you. Make no mistake about it. They don't give a damn about you. They would walk over your corpse and laugh at you. I've seen the most evil, hateful, and abhorrent things coming from the left that I never thought I would see from another human being. I've seen videos of people from the left wishing that people would drop their babies, wishing harm to their babies. These are demons. They are absolute demons. And I tell people all the time, make sure that you have your heads on a swivel because this is not the environment that you grew up in. Things are changed. And they're never going to be the same again. Guys, I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. I really appreciate everybody for coming together to be a part of what we're doing here. To the staff and everybody that's helping this thing, I really appreciate it. And big shout out to our main sponsor, Official Patriot Gear. My absolute, I love everything about this company. Any company, in my opinion, that's going to put the protection of children at the forefront is absolutely going to have my support. I 100% support Patriot Gear. I roll Patriot Gear hard every single day, and I have for over 2 years of my life. I don't think anybody else can say that but me. When I'm about something, I'm about it, and I support what needs to be supported, and that is something that we don't do any. Nobody's got any integrity anymore. People follow a trend. I don't. I follow what I feel is right, and I'm always going to do that, and that's what I think that everybody should do. We have a very big guest coming. I'm really, really excited to announce. You guys need to be here for this tomorrow. Troy T. Lilly is coming to the show. Like, super excited. I have so many questions. And for those of you that don't know, Troy has like the coolest house you have ever seen in your life. I swear, I just want to hang out in it. And I've got so many questions, and I'm really, really, really excited for the show tomorrow. So make sure that you guys are here. Make sure that you're tuning in. And please do go back to the page take a second and share the content. It really does help us out. We're, starting this thing from the ground up with we're not putting any money into the boosting or any of that garbage. We're doing this all with you guys. So I really want to appreciate that, along with, our sponsors. We've got Get W, which I appreciate them. I actually tried the latest stuff, which I gotta tell you, like, it wasn't bad. I really kind of thought this is the America 250. It's actually really nice. Like, my wife thought it was really nice too. But no, I really do appreciate them for coming on as a sponsor. Thank you to them. And then, of course, also to Dubby. I actually do like Dubby. So I drink Dubby in the morning because it's like, it's a caffeine, but like there's no jitters. So like it's easy for me to take, and like I really enjoy it. So I just been kind of going with that in the mornings, almost like a pre-workout, but not really. For those of you that are interested in joining us, of course, we want to give opportunity to everybody. For those of you that are interested in becoming a partner with the Magic Carpet Ride, whether you want to work with us, whether you want to be on the show, whether you want to be a sponsor, there's of course ways that you can do that. Please feel free to reach out to any one of us. Like I said, this is something that we're all going to be taking very seriously. We of course want to have a polished show, and we're going to be adding to it every single time that we go on. So please do make sure that you're taking the time to support us in what we're doing, because this, in my opinion, is more important than just sitting around, making videos all day. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. To Daniel, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Much love and peace, and we will see you guys on the next one. You guys better be here for Troy's show, because we're going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to be doing a giveaway for Troy's show, and I want everybody there for it. Daniel, make sure that you get with me. I'm going to get you your first Patriot Gear shirt. So reach out to me when we're done here, and I'll send you over to the site, and we'll get you your first Patriot Gear shirt, because I believe that you are a patriot, and I believe that you need to rock that. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Much love, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.